for being 82% of Greenville, of their hometown, how to create jobs, how to be self-sufficient, all of that, how to be in business and all they, and I think one of the things that they need the foundation and the knowledge of what happened with the Coleman High thing. Mm-hmm.
Right. Your play give a lot of history on the Coleman High School, and I learned a lot just by reading the script and how we was tricked to become Democrats other than Republicans.
Exactly.
I learned a lot from the history of Coleman High. Now, the Mississippi Delta, it's our home, and some people have a negative mindset about the Delta. I must agree. At one point, I didn't want people to know I was from the Delta because they thought we was nothing but sharecroppers and cotton pickers. And, but the Mississippi Delta, we've come a long way. This Greenville still have a way to go. Greenville's in bad shape, but it didn't get in bad shape overnight.
Yeah, but I tell you something, Reverend Johnson. Greenville is not in bad shape. Greenville have all the potential in the world. I tell you what's in bad shape. Los Angeles, Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when you look at Los Angeles, the black community here is living black community here is living in tents, all over downtown. Okay. That's not happening in these southern cities, and they don't have that kind of mess. Okay.
I was pertaining to the infrastructure and the dilapidated houses. People relocate, they leave Greenville and go to another state, and they don't take care of their property like they should and become eyesores, and eventually end up with the state, and the state don't have resources to keep them up.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's not only in the Delta, that's everywhere.
Yeah.
And what I was saying, our infrastructure is almost depleted. And,
yes.
That's why tourists and visitors come in, and like you say, Greenville's doing mighty good compared to some other cities.
Yep.
And their infrastructure and their poverty problem.
Yeah, and see what one of the things that Greenville have going for them, and a lot of the southern cities too, huge majority black African American population. You can get those people out who's sitting at the top and just sitting there and doing nothing for the community, to rebuild the community. We got the numbers now. Vote those people out and put somebody in there, develop some young people, young minds and stuff that want to develop the city and empower the African Americans down there. That's what's supposed to happen from generation to generation. Okay, let me get a final comment from you, Reverend Johnson. Your final thoughts.
My final thought is I think we can accomplish the mission of having Coleman High added to Greenville High, to resurrect Coleman High back. And hopefully we'll learn from this situation that we must teach our offspring their history. If we don't know where we came from, we definitely don't know where we're headed.
Okay.
But, I think it can be done, and a lot of Colemanites are on board with it. All we have to do is put the plan into action and stop talking about it so much. I think we can do it.
All right. Thank you very much. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna read the latter part of the notes about how blacks moved from the Republican Party to the Democratic Party, and then maybe they may take a good look at what's happening with this Democratic Party today. And then I'm going to play a little short clip from the reading that we did here in Los Angeles about from the play of Lizzie Coleman. Okay, thank you very much.
Godspeed.
Bye-bye. Now, let me go back to reading what I was reading about what happened in the 1927 flood and the commissions by Herbert Hoover, who wanted to become president. And what happened, the commission conducted a thorough investigation, reported back to Moulton on the deplorable condition. Moulton presented the findings to Hoover and advocated immediate improvements to aid the flood neediest victim. But the information was never made public. Hoover had asked Moulton to keep a tight lid on his investigation. In return, Hoover implied that if he was successful in his bid for the presidency, Moulton and his people would play a role in his administration in the nation's unprecedented in the nation's history. Hoover also hinted that as president, he intended to divide the bankrupt planters' land into small African-American-owned farms. Motivated by Hoover's promise, Moulton saw to it that the Colored Advisory Committee never revealed the full extent of the abuse in the Delta, and Moulton champions Hoover's candidacy for African-American. He won the presidency in 1928, went back on his word. Moulton took the Republicans and flipped them over to Democrats, and in the 1932 election, they supported Franklin D. Roosevelt, who implemented the New Deal and the social program, and the rest was history, and blacks flowed into the Democratic Party, forgetting that the Democratic Party was the party of the Confederacy, the party of the slavery, the party of the KKK, etc., like that. Now, let me just play a little quick clip from Lizzie Coleman, and then we'll close out.
Knowledge is power. Ignorance is weakness. The scripture says, my people shall be destroyed for a lack of knowledge. My name is Elizabeth Williams Coleman. Everybody call me Lizzie. Now, I was born, raised, and lived all my life in Mississippi. Did you know that the name Mississippi comes from the Choctaw word that means older than time? This land is ancient, and this land is holy. I am a teacher. I love teaching. I've been teaching for over 40 years, making sure that our people get an education. Dr. Carter G. Woodson, in his book, The Miseducation of the Negro, talked about the importance of getting the right kind of education, not the type of education that imitates mainstream society, but a practical education that fits the needs of our people. True knowledge is the essence and foundation of an education. Don't be afraid to burn the midnight oil in pursuit of knowledge. Use the special gift that God gave you. Always be prepared, and when the door opens, you will be standing right there to walk through. The first public school for our people in Greenville, Mississippi was built near the riverfront. It was called the number 2 school. Of course, white folks had the number 1 school on the corner of Walnut and Main. White folks always think they got to be number 1. Later on, the number 2 school would move to Nelson Street and then to Cleveland Street. At that time, we only went to the 8th grade. If a black student wanted to go beyond the 8th grade, he or she had to attend Sacred Heart Catholic School or the private school set up by the Black Baptist Church, Greenville Industrial College, or GIC, as it was commonly known. Over the years, I have developed my little book of morals. I have been saving these little quotes and Bible verses for over 40 years. You see this hand? It has 5 fingers. You know why God gave you 5 fingers? God gave you 5 fingers because there are 5 kinds of people. And you don't want to forget anybody. There are black people, brown people, white people, regardless. We got to do things as a unit. All wrong or all right, but all together.
Okay, that was Elizabeth June, the professional actress here in Los Angeles, performing that from our reading. I want to quickly recommend two books that I think every African American all over the United States should get their hands on. Number one, Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. You should read this book. It deals with education also. And the other book, Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. Two books that you should make a part of your library, make it part of your young people's library. Please listen to past shows of the Qumran Report by Googling in Qumran Report. Thank you for tuning in to the Qumran Report, and from your host, Melvin Ishmael Johnson, may the peace and blessings of the life-giving creative spirit be upon you and upon your family. I leave you with the Coleman High School song.
1, 2. All hail to our school, the school we love so well. Loyal we are to our school. We strive to do our best wherever we may go. Loyal we are to our school. Our color of gold means to us salvation. Purple the tie that binds our hearts. And hail to our school, the school we love so well. Always is Coleman High.